Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. Today I'm talking about a fragrance which I reviewed about 8 years ago. One of my absolute favorite fragrances when it comes to leather chypres. This is 1740 by Histoires de Parfums. This bottle, this name 1740, is part of the series which Histoires de Parfums used to do about historical figures. And 1740 is related to a very controversial person known as Marquis de Sade, after whose name sadism was born. He was quite a controversial character. He spent a long time in prison because of his sexual perversions, and he was basically a firm believer in pleasure through pain. And that was not a very popular opinion in 1700s and 1800s. As a result, in spite of being of noble birth, he spent considerable amount of time in prison. And he wrote many books, which are still available. And this controversial figure is the inspiration behind 1740. So 1740. As I said, this fragrance is a leather chypre. And this fragrance was an important fragrance in my journey from two aspects. One was this fragrance really taught me what is immortelle. How does immortelle build a fragrance? This is around immortelle. And this fragrance also taught me how a leather chypre can be made in a way where it actually tightly sort of shifts between a sort of a semi-gourmand, woody semi-gourmand, woody spicy gourmand, and leather chypre. And that's why it became one of my most favorite fragrances of all time. One of the most favorite fragrances. If I was to do a list of 10 most favorite fragrances of mine of all time, this fragrance will be in that list. So let's start. This was released in 2000 and the parfumeur is Sylvie Gerdet. I wrongly assumed or thought that it was Gerald Guillain, but it's not. Although he must have been involved as a creative head, because this house, Histoires de Parfums, Gerald Guillain is the owner of the house. Wow, man, this fragrance never ever ceases to amaze me. And this fragrance is basically a masterpiece on how to create an animalic leather based chypre. So I'm getting a lot of cedar on this. It's almost a linear scent, and what it is it introduces two notes in the top, obviously three notes. So it's bergamot, very nice fizzy fruity bergamot with booziness, which is not mentioned in the notes breakdown. It's quite boozy. You can well imagine. It's all about sadism, sexual aversions, sexual in nature. So it's dirty, musky, animalic leather. So that's the second thing, along with that fizzy bergamot. And that bergamot is a massive presence here. And along with that, there's this beautiful note of Davana sensualis. Some people confuse it with wormwood. Wormwood is from the same family, but here they've used Davana sensualis, which is a very, very popular herb in India. People use its tincture for various uses. It's very popular, and it has this beautiful smell of herbal green black tea mixed with dry fruits. That's the smell that you get from Davana. Davana is a very complex note, and that's there right up top. So fruits, booziness, black tea, fizzy bergamot. Along with that is this note of camphor. It's camphorous. And then within like 5 minutes, or even 5 seconds, you get a very strong cedar. And that woody character and the spicy character, fruity character is charismatic. And within like 5 minutes or so, all the herbs, all the spices come to the fore. So I'm smelling immortelle now within 1 minute of spraying. So immortelle is this amazing fleshy, fruity, floral note, very very complex. It is a leather facet. It is a tremendous note. My favorite. I love it. Most people, some people don't like that note. So, immortelle. And along with immortelle, there's this beautiful cardamom and coriander combination. And the fragrance has a very fantastic earthy patchouli. Dense, thick, resinous. Fragrance is very thick and woody. So all these notes, all these complex notes, the sweetness, camphorous, fruitiness, booziness, patchouli, earthiness, leather. This complexity is mind-boggling. It's a very complex scent, and it's really one of those fragrances, when you first spray, if you're not experienced, it will really wrong-foot you. Another reason that people get wrong-footed by this fragrance is its animalic quality. The leather here is very animalic, but it's not something which you can call that this is dirty as in smells nasty. It's not, but it has this animalic facet, which is sort of amped up by immortelle. So it's animalic leather, which is slightly stuffy and syrupy even. So you can well imagine how many facets are named here. They all hit you the moment you spray within 1 minute. When the fragrance dries down a little bit, say 5-10 minutes later, that is when the cardamom and the coriander bring in the spicy bite to the fragrance. And when the fragrance is completely dried down, that is 1 hour later, maybe 1.5 hours, the nastiness, or not nasty I would say, the challenging aspect of the fragrance subdues, and what comes up is an immensely lovable, chewable, huggable amber. It is really beautiful, and it's combined with one of the most lush vanilla notes you can imagine. It's, as I said, this fragrance also borders gourmand. It pushes towards gourmand. So there's this beautiful lush vanilla, and it's been coupled with cistus labdanum and elemi resin. So it's very resinous, very ambery. And this leather that I mentioned, with earthy patchouli. It's patchouli dominant, it's creamy, it's fruity, it is spicy, it's green as well because of immortelle. It's an incredible fragrance. And this journey that I talk about after 2 hours, it continues for about, I don't know, 10-15 hours. It's a delightful experience. All the challenging aspects subdues, the booziness is gone, the camphorous side is gone, the animalic, sort of sweaty armpit kind of there's no sweaty armpit, but this dirty, clean smell that you get in old-fashioned leather fragrances. That's gone. The dry fruit aspect is more mellowed, but all the ambery and the vanillic side comes out. Absolute chef kiss. What a beautiful fragrance this is when it dries down. Incredible experience. So upsides and downside. See, this is one of the upsides. First, this is one of the most beautifully choreographed, complex, leather-based chypre fragrance I've come across. It is choreographed. That's the word I've chosen, because it's like bringing so many difficult notes together to make it into this beautiful symphony. Absolutely amazing. Very, very masterful creation. The second thing is the complexity of the fragrance. The facets I mentioned are so contrasting that when you first spray, you think, wow, what is this? As I said, on paper, I was getting so much creamy cedar and dry fruits and tea. And then mix all of that with leather, with this syrupy, fizzy bergamot, amber. It is very sensual as well, apart from being extremely wonderfully orchestrated leather. It's got this amazing sensuality, almost like vanilla, amber, bergamot mixed together with that honey-like syrupiness, create this beautiful sensual smell. It's very complex. And the third upside is, if you want one of the most beautifully created masculine leather modern fragrance, here it is. Absolutely amazing leather note. Initially it's challenging, later on it's absolutely amazing. Downsides. Now, initially when I spray this becomes a little difficult to wear if you're less experienced. It also has this animalic side which can knock people out if they're not into fragrances. If they're very new, it can really come across as very difficult to wear. Stuffy, kind of a challenging kind of a smell. Immortelle is not an easy note to wear, and immortelle is pronounced here. So yeah, I can understand somebody not liking it if they don't have the experience. What's the other bit? Obviously, you can't wear this everywhere, so you'll have to be very selective where you wear this. I mean, I've had this bottle in my collection for more than 10 years, and look at the wearing. I mean, this is a 120 ml bottle. I haven't worn more than 20%, 15%. So wearability could be a challenge. Let's talk about value for money. That's a very important aspect, because scents like these should cost huge amounts of money, but you would not believe how affordable 1740 is. I have seen it go for less than £100, this 120 ml bottle here in the UK, full bottle. So you can well imagine this kind of quality, complexity, craftsmanship. It is so difficult to achieve, and yet it's available for very little money, or it can be available if you're lucky enough for very affordable prices. It's a tremendous fragrance for that. So value for money is very high. So how's the performance? The performance is absolutely terrific on skin. The longevity is almost 24 hours without a fail. On fabric, even longer. Projection is medium. I would say about half an arm's length, nice little bubble around you. That's the projection after the first hour or so. And I'm going with one spray. Sillage, again, beautiful trail scent. If you put 2 or 3 on your skin, it smells the best when you apply it on your skin. So if you put 2 behind your ears and you go wherever you want to go, you leave a fantastic trail behind you. It's a very high quality and complex scent, and animalic fragrances work the best when you put it on your skin. So that is the performance from my standpoint. Where do you wear this? Special occasions. When do you wear this? In between weather. So autumn, spring, perfect. There's so much cedar here. It's incredibly nice. I love this. And this is not ISOE cedar. This is proper red cedar. Virginia cedar. Fabulous. Age groups, I would say 25 plus, 30 plus even, because it's a complex scent and it has notes like leather, like patchouli, which are slightly mature notes. Or if you have mature tastes, definitely recommend you to sample it. If you sample it and you like it, you wear it. Where do you wear this? Anywhere you like. I think I can't wear this to work because I'm quite conscious. But apart from that, I've worn it everywhere, except clubbing, because it just doesn't have the go. It doesn't have the push. But everywhere else, not a problem. Any occasion you can throw at it. It's a very special smell. It's got this wonderful, sensual, masculine quality to it. So you can well imagine when you're dressed up, you're going in some sort of a special black tie event. Definitely. So I've covered all aspects: age groups, season, smell, how does it smell, performance, value for money. How many marks will I give it? I reviewed it 8 years ago. This is the second review and I gave it 9 out of 10. I think I'll stick to that. 9 out of 10. The only reason I can't give it 10 out of 10, although I want to, is the challenging aspect of where do you wear it? You'll have to think about it. But it's so beautiful. Once you wear it, it's so lovely that, all your doubts are allayed. So have this in your collection. If you are a true connoisseur, if you really like good fragrances, complex fragrances, interesting, unique fragrances, absolutely go and sample this. Very well worth having it in your collection. 9 out of 10. I'm hoping you really enjoyed the review, fellas. If you did, do give this video a like. Take care. Bye-bye.